We are back, ladies and germs, and we are in ban phase of game 2 of the Tilted Torpedoes against the
Fine, I'll just be over here.
nope, that I almost said
Sharpening my
7 Deadly
feathers.
Sins. That was less split. 7 Shades of Greg.
You're duller than a broken sandwich.
And I am Frank DG Medhatter Caputo, and I'm joined by
What up? Guy
Eric.
Fieri.
Eric Guy Fury, so whatever his last name is. As picks and bans are happening, in the top lane again, we're having Fiora on Jingo Unchained, followed with facing that Fiora will be Saedo on Yorick.
Yeah, and I think that lane's going to be a little bit more survivable for Jingo Unchained, but it's going to be a little bit more relevancy for Sayato come mid-late game, I think. And we're going to see it. Yes, that's a Kog'Maw jungle locked in. Bukaki Poro has been playing this pick as one of his pocket picks. I'm really excited to see it. I think that it can do a lot of work, especially if it can survive the early game, which into an Amumu is actually I don't want to say easy, but it's a lot easier than if like you're playing Kog'Maw jungle into like a Lee Sin or an Elise. I guess the old adage to that is that Amu's always talked about being one of the easiest junglers to engage or to invade, which means he's going to be one of the worst junglers at invading the other jungle, which is what Kog'Maw does not want to have. So I think it's a good place to pull it out. The only thing I worry about is there's plenty of things that can catch out Bukaki Poro once he starts getting on towards his team fight self. Between the Fiora just straight up assassinating him to getting caught by an Amumu Q or a Syndra Scatter of the Week. Oh, there was actually an Urgot. Nice. Respecting General Dill and his Urgot pocket pick. Bans across the board fairly standard. We do see a Caitlyn ban that's different from last game on the side of the Torpedoes. And the Urgot ban and the Nocturne ban. Oh, that wasn't an Urgot ban. That was a Wukong. That's right. So it was a Wukong and a Nocturne ban. Respecting Bukaki Poro's assassin junglers. At which point he just says, I'm just going to take the Kog'Maw and assassinate your whole team.
Yeah, hopefully this comp, which I will from the Tilted Torpedoes, which I call the Double Rage Cage.
Double Rage Cage, dude, that's actually a really freaking good name for that comp. Oh my gosh.
Hopefully the Double Rage Cage will let the Kog'Maw sit behind it and just rail on the Syndra Amumu.
Well, both the Kog'Maw and the Lucian, because both of those champions are champions that need a little bit of peel around them. Because Lucian's a little shorter range and because Kog'Maw's so squishy and immobile, they need those kind of protection. And I really like Double Rage Cage, especially since Kakiporo is going to have a Rage Blade. Like, oh, Frank, you killed it. I love it.
Thanks, I tried.
And we do actually see Tilted Torpedoes straight up take the entire bot lane that they just lost to. Took the Lucian Braum. Gert says, that's fine, I'll just play Taric. Like, that's the thing about Gert. As a support player, his champion pool is so big that it's really hard to, like, push him onto something that he's not efficient on.
Yeah.
And you can take away some of his pocket picks. Taking away the Alistair is good. The Alistair is in the long run Gert's best champion. The Galio is another one that's a good takeaway because it's so oppressive in lane. Past that, he can make stuff happen on Braum, on Tom Kench, which we saw banned, on the Taric. He can make stuff happen on almost any tank support. So I do believe that it's not necessarily they're not necessarily doing that to like take it and try and hinder Gert. I just think they realize the strength of Lucian, especially into somebody like a Jhin. Being Lucian is generally considered one of the better lane counters Jhin, because Jhin can't really answer the same kind of damage and trades Lucian can. It's just a matter of what can the supports do, what can Oscar and the Braum do to complement advantage, and what can Gert do with Taric. to kind of negate that disadvantage. For me, looking at that 2v2. So
Yeah, I think the thing I'm most for big team fights, the thing I'm looking for most is seeing how Gert plays against this enemy team. Just because if he gets a really good ult on his team, that eliminates literally everything Viger is good for, and the Kog'Maw damage as well. And
well, to be fair though, the Kog'Maw damage, it's yeah, he'll negate it for one round, but as soon as that W's back up, damage is back. Like it's not like he's burst one round of burst and done like the Vigar is.
Oh yeah, agreed. Like the Viger will be neutralized totally, but like Kog'Maw, losing a lot of hits, and Amumu and Syndra and Fiora easily being able to blow him up. So like, say if Viger busts this whole package, and Gerg's ult protects that, then the Kog'Maw, can easily, if the team focuses right, can get focused by the Fiora, Amumu, Syndra.
All I will say though, the Vigar burst is, I believe, if you're talking about a full burst combo, 1Q, the W down, and his ult at the same time, that rotation of burst is faster than the Taric channel on his. So the only way that happens is if full burst messes up and throws his burst after Taric has already started channeling his ult.
Yeah, you're right in the sense that Vigar's abilities will go faster than the Taric ult can go.
Can channel, right? Because
Yeah,
I believe it's a 2-second channel.
It's a 2.5 second channel.
Oh, so it's even longer than I thought it was. Yeah.
Yes. But it does. Then what the Viger would be doing is like, even if he's not wasting his abilities, he's kind of just standing there because he doesn't want to waste them. So he'd just be sitting there doing nothing.
Well, except for I mean, he can throw his baby cage out at least.
Baby cage, it's back.
Yo, I started that here. I don't remember what cast it was, but somebody played Vigar. It might have been you.
You were watching me.
And somebody said, and I like called it baby cage. Somebody's like, "What?" I'm like, "You haven't ever heard Event Horizon called baby cage before?" And now there's I heard about somebody. I heard about Camille ult the other day. I'm like, oh, now this is getting. There's only one true baby cage, and it's Event.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I don't even remember. Oh, I'm curious about something. I don't remember the name of the ability, unfortunately, but this little cage, which I can now find out because we're now in our stream. I'm Yorick. I believe it is okay. It's Dark Procession is name of Yorick's cage.
Yeah, Dark Procession.
I wonder if he throws that at the same time that walrus hits a Q onto somebody on the back line, would it stop Amumu from going in?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
I don't think it would, because like if I'm on Gnar or something, I can hop out of Dark Procession. So I would imagine that the dash from Amumu would still go through. If as it's building it like knocks him back. I don't remember if it's coded that way. We'll have to see. We might get a chance to see that interaction. I'm excited, but we'll find out. But for now, we are in game. We are getting rolling. I think I'm a little bit behind you guys. 36, 37. Frank, you get it? I'm gonna assume Frank's not saying anything. So.
Yep, I'm doing fine.
And it looks like we're gonna see very similar. Oh my God! I need to turn.
The amount of pinging from the teams is absolutely annoying.
We're getting to see so many skins I love, because I love that Kog'Maw skin too.
Yep. Kog'Maw too good. We've got the
Pink Taric. Oh, Gert, why'd you go Pink Taric? Oh my gosh.
Blood Moon Jin, gotta love.
You want to talk about a hypey skin that's coming out? SKT Jin looks so good.
I have not seen that, so I'm excited to.
Oh my God!
If the ping spamming can stop.
With the pinging. Oh my gosh. And the emote spam.
Well, I think it is safe to say that the world doesn't know this, and they will now. But from our Facebook page, clearly the Tilted Torpedoes are the meme team, and we are seeing that in game as well.
Oh yeah, and that's their personality. Will Brooks is a living, walking meme. General Dill is one of the. Austin Weber, who's Sayato, again, very meme. Like, it's a very meme-heavy team. And I love watching you guys play because I can pretty much know how their voice comms are going as playing because I just know how all of them are in game. The only one I don't know how
Jingo
they are
and
is Oscar.
Shane and Sayato doing some good trading up in the top lane.
Grasping and Undying for Sayato doing a lot of work to keep him healthy, but the vital procs from Fiora for Jingo doing the same for him. It's going to attract a lot of jungler attention if that's what you're doing. And that's one of the things about top lane. Like, if you're worried about getting camped, just don't trade. Because if you're constantly full health, and we're going to see it all in here.
Sayato's going in. Jingo and Shane goes back in for no good reason, and Sayato punishes him for it. Yep,
you got to respect this man's Yorick. I don't know that I've ever said that sentence before, but it's very good. And we were talking about this with Game 1. His champion pool is so pocket pick heavy, it's hard to ban him out. Unless you spend like 5 bans on him. But he's so very effective at the things that he plays, and he just showed that there. Not only did he get the first blood, but he's up a lot of CS. A lot. He's up 5 early. He's still only level 2.
Currently in the Amumu jungle.
Well, he just took his buffs. Scuttle Crab.
Rage Cage goes up on top lane, and Sayato is going to chunk Jingo Unchained all the way out. That Dark Procession damage with the Morning Mist is just ruining Jingo Unchained.
Yeah.
And Amumu was all the way on bot side. No help for him at all.
And here I thought this thing would be easier for Jingo to survive. I guess I was.
I've
never personally played the Fiora Yorick lane. The famed lane of legends, you know. But
yeah.
But Sayato getting himself to a point where he could definitely take some of this to bleed and take this advantage and make something happen. And I'm excited to see that because I last guy on the bar highest damage. While he wasn't necessarily irrelevant, I just never felt like Sayato was in a place to truly take over a game like top players want to do. Other than that, fairly standard slow early game. Both junglers doing what they want to do early, which is farm.
Ooh, Dark Procession again comes up on the Fiora, and General Dill's gonna go in. Amumu's coming in the bot lane. Bandage toss onto the Braum. Dudley Flourish locks the Braum down. Flash away from Oscar. Flash from OP, and looks like they're gonna get away. Ooh, Flash coming in. Bukaki Poro. Jin gets the damage. Gets the damage to kill Oscar, but Bukaki Poro flash in. Oh, we got a flash in from Sayato onto Jingo Unchained, and they're both gonna just barely live. With their that bot lane.
On OP side, you can't really argue. They put a lot of resources into play. You can't really, in the moment, argue with flashing under tower to finish the play. But hindsight 2020, he's now down both summoners. General still has his flash, which is huge. And even arguably, Lucian with no suns is safer than a Jhin with no suns, because Lucian has that relentless suit.
Bukaki Poro is just sitting, currently stealing the Amumu jungle.
Now his clear is not very good. So
yeah, the Raptors are ruining his life right now.
Oh no! He's gonna use his passive.
He just takes the big one and walks away.
If I'm Bukaki Poro, I almost just suicide to him and then use a passive to finish the wave to finish it. You'll be up in time to where it's almost the same as if you.
Dogs versus birds, and dogs win today.
Well, the birds won because 5 of them are still standing.
Yeah, but at least the mother's dead.
I mean, all right, I guess. I guess now there's nobody to feed worms. So
yeah, I mean. You could say the bird. You could say that on Discovery Channel, the birds did technically beat the dog puppy thing, but in this game of League of Legends, Del Walrus is losing some of his experience.
Yeah. The only thing I will say though, like, he got the bulk of the camp. and that's really
Yeah.
if
Ooh,
anytime Joey was
Skeleton comes down onto the Vigar, and
he's level
Okay.
6, not gonna be able to finish anything else off onto it. I'm nervous for the CS lead developing here in mid lane. Packer Diehard's doubled Willbrooks' CS.
yes.
Which, granted, he's on Vigar, something that scales really, I would argue, scales a little better than Syndra. But you still need gold to be able to scale.
Ultimate goes down in the top lane, but
I think Sato in this game this is one of those games where he doesn't see at the Nexus and hopes that his team doesn't feed. Like,
yeah.
and that's the way I see a lot of York's play. York's a very tilting because he just shoves and shoves and shoves, especially if you're on something like that has such little wave clear. It's so hard. It's so hard to, because like here,
Lockdown from the Deadly Flourish onto the Kog'Maw. The Dazzle misses, but OP's gonna back off from that tennis ball.
spits the dang tennis
Oop.
ball.
Relentless Pursuit dashes in.
The exhaust goes down.
Ooh, they turn onto the Kog'Maw. Ooh, and looks like,
But they're gonna win this fight.
yeah.
Oh, that was an aggressive
Attack the
flash. from
Diehard.
General Dill.
Kills General Dill. Baby Cage goes up onto Packer Diehard, and he's just gonna walk away.
Ultimately, a 3v2, so they did end up winning that. 1 kill over to Packer, 1 over to B, and then another kill over to General Dill, a kill over to Brooks. I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like Bukaki Poro. So they got a kill onto essentially the 3 people who really need them. General Dill and the Lucian's getting kills, get strong. Will Brooks needs that kill. It sucks that Packer Diehard matched the kill because it means that no real advantage goes Will Brooks' way. But it's going to help him get to some of his power points. Maybe get some APs so that he can start just one-shotting the and be good to go.
Yeah. 7 Shades of Greg. You know, I think that's just a little greedy on their part to try. And holy cow, that damage from Sato. Jingo Unchained is trying to get the ultimate, the grand challenge off. Will he do it? No, he does not, and Sato's going to take it down.
Oof.
Ooh, but Amumu, that Walrus is coming up and trying to kill Sato. I don't think he can do it.
He doesn't win
He's
this.
Gonna,
Oh,
Dark Procession misses, and I just think it's
Barely.
annoying that York can walk right through his own Dark Procession.
I mean, so can Vigar.
Yeah,
His own baby cage. So. Oh,
I guess
Trolled by
that's
the
true. TP coming in from Fiora. Kog'Maw looking to get the...
oh, that was so close.
That Living Artillery just barely missed.
Oh. Bukaki Paro's like, oh, damn, he wasn't there.
Yeah, but Bukaki Poro is going to come up and gank onto Jingo Unchained.
He's so low!
Ooh, good parry.
He's gonna get a return
but he's
kill
going to
here,
smash down. Oh. Can Packer Diehard get the double? And he will get that double. Oh.
Oh,
Ooh,
can't flash an auto
away,
attack.
but cannot do it in time.
You can't flash an auto attack, unfortunately. Unless
Caffeine Surprise, half health Packer Diehard, but he's going to get back to full health in no time with a pot in that red buff. Meanwhile, there's a fight happening in bot lane. Culling comes down onto the Jhin, flash away, Baby Cage flash from Gert, and he just gets railed. Oh, curtain call, going for the General Dill, switching it to Oscar. Oscar flashes away. Ooh, but Amumu may get the kill onto General Dill. Deadly Flourish misses. Stun down onto Amumu, and he's going to get Primordial Burst to the ground.
he's gonna get 0 counterplay ulted by Vigar.
Yeah, that was definitely
This
that was definitely just really unfortunate with seven Shades of Greg. So hard to say.
Yeah, I think
Shades of Greg
this game has
could have easily turned that fight around, and they were so close and many times to catching back up, but it's just snowballing till the torpedoes more and more.
Yeah, and I think like it was so many little mini micro plays that happened to save that fight for Tilted Torpedoes. Because we got another fight brewing. Hopefully it's not too much so I can get because you saw Oscar manage to get his Unbreakable up to dodge a hefty amount of damage from the first Jhin shot that he took. And then you saw General Dill manage to block the final shot to save Oscar, and then had his heal to be able to heal enough damage to not die to that wall. It's like a very
looks like they're bursting on the dragon. Will the Amumu go in? He will. Bandage toss and Christmas Sad Mummy onto
only hits one.
Sato, but No follow-up from the Syndra. And Sayato is just going to TP back top to stop the split push Fiora.
I mean, he's really low. I know he's got some sustain, but if you're Jingo Unchained right now seeing him...
I think Packer Diehard had the ultimate too, so it would have been fine for him to... I think he was maybe just out of range from ulting Sayato.
It had to have been.
Not sure there.
One of the funny things about this game, if I'm playing against two mid laners, and then I feel like there's absolutely zero counterplay, it's Syndra and Veigar.
Oh, Sayato's gonna dive onto the Fiora.
He doesn't win this.
Sayato's taking a lot of damage, and yep, grand challenge. He's gonna lose that one. Greedy wasted his teleport. Now the Fiora's just gonna get his split push. Not Scout of the Week onto Veigar. We have a unleash power come from Syndra, but Veigar will just barrier and.
Well, hold up. Jingo Chain's starting Blade of the Ruin King on Fiora. Is that a thing?
I don't think so. I think it could have been. It's not a terrible decision if the other team's incredibly tanky, but they're not.
I mean, Sayato's tanky-ish, but he's having Triforce. Like, he's starting tank stats.
I feel like maybe the thought behind that for Jingo is to try and out-sustain Sayato, but I think that the same...
does that too.
I was just going to say that would be doing the exact same thing.
And then it gives you the auto-cancel that Fiora wants. I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, the Hydro would have been... does the exact same thing.
I didn't look last game to see if that's the deal either, so maybe I'll go back and...
Ooh, General Dill getting a lot of good damage onto OP. But we're just going to back away. It looks like Seven Treads of Greg are calling for Herald.
That was Tilted Torpedoes because it was a red ping.
Yep, you are right.
A1.
A1 Prime.
Yeah, that was kind of something that I was saying earlier. If you look at the CS here in the mid lane,
See,
Packer is running away with this mid lane now, and yeah,
relentless pursuit.
Answer.
Ooh, flash coming in from General Dill in the bot lane. Culling, but they're just gonna block all of it with Kurt's big old body. Ooh, Oscar with the Glacial Fissure to finish off OP. Looks like there's a big gank happening now on Packer Diehard. Flash in from Sayato, Scatter the Weak, and Primordial Burst.
Zero counterplay.
Yeah, zero counterplay. Even the flash away. Didn't flash soon enough to get that, and Tilted Torpedo's gonna go for that Rift Herald now, while they're taking bot lane turret.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Tilted Torpedoes, because they're doing now what they really couldn't do last game at all. Which they're getting lots of small little skirmishes and winning them over that. I think it's funny. Oscar might have heard your Smash call and had his own little Oscar Smash call. Although this
incredible bandage in from Mummy ults. Curses him Mummy both them. Gets the 2.
He can't take it when he's dead.
He tried to take it with his passive.
Oh no, they're not going to take it.
Surprise. That Walrus is just going to meme. Oh, and with a Will Brooks, still going to die. Good shutdown, Gold.
Oof. Well, and now Fiora's 5-3, and the Gold lead is nullified for Sayato. You got to question. You don't have to question. I personally want to question the 2 dives Sayato died on to Jingo, because he had a huge lead. And the one dive, I mean, granted, they got the kill. He just wound up going down to the tower after the fact, and the fact that Packer had gotten the roam. But the second dive, after he
getting the mid lane turret after getting those kills.
Yeah, they had TP. The Tilted Torpedoes had taken the Infernal, and then Sayato, who was on about a 4th, had TP top lane. If he instead, he might have lost the tower, but he might not have. There's still a decent amount of health on it, and the wave wasn't that. If he just bases, gets full health, then TP's back top lane, then does the dive, he's got enough health to make it happen.
Ooh, looking for a 5-man min here. Misses the Frostbite, misses the Deadly Flourish.
Missed skill shots galore, but there you have that.
Yeah, Sayato's gonna walk top to answer Jingo Unchained.
And shoot, Frank misses every skill shot he throws out.
Whoa.
Got him.
That's why
That's
every time you play me, I
and
win,
Anivia.
right?
That's why you play Vygar and Anivia and stuff that has point and clicks.
Alright, man. I see how it is. I think I played... Who did I play this split? I played
You played
Vel'Koz
Vygar. Oh yeah, you did play
Bran.
Vel'Koz in one game.
So get out of here. Those are my 2 plays this split. As you were saying earlier a little bit about this mid lane farm, Vygar is still going to stack infinitely because he's Vygar, but it doesn't matter what his score is, he's not going to scale as fast as the team would like with that 77 farm to 136 on Syndra.
Yeah, and he's not that as far as he could be. He's still only down about 800 gold. Really the main difference being the extra Fiendish Codex that Packer has in his inventory. Because I believe they're sitting... Actually, Packer's sitting on the gold lead. Packer has 900 gold in his pocket that Will Brooks doesn't have.
Ooh, fight! Dazzle misses. Braum ulti. Terracol comes down. They're still going to go in.
General Dill kiting this fight out. Oh, unfortunate.
Ooh, looks like we're going to get double cage here, and there's the double rage cage.
The Venn diagram.
They, there's just so much happening right now. Grand Challenge takes down the Lucian, scatters the weak, the three of the members of the enemy team. Genuine Chain and Pack Die are going to walk away. We're going to trade General Dill for Doubtrawlers, Opie, and Gert. But the fight is continuing with the Dark Procession.
Sato going hard. He's just... I'll step up to this.
In the Dark Sphere to finish off the Oscar. Sato is...
They get the Infernal Drake. Maiden in the Mist is procced onto Jingo. Oh, and Packer actually knocks it closer to Jingo. Potentially allowing it to get in range to deal damage. All in all, it's going to end up being a 3-for-2 and an Infernal Drake going over, and it looks like we're going to see a mid lane tower going as well.
Yeah, Bukaki Poro just railing on that mid tower, but the...
it might not go down after all. Oh, yeah. Unfortunate timing for General Dill on his color, because he channeled it as the Terracol
came down.
Right. And it's not like he has
trying to get his blue buff, but he takes it too far away, and it's gonna.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Now he's like, Bukaki Poro can help me, but he backs instead.
Rip. Pepperoni. All in all, I think Tilted Torpedoes are in a good place. They have double Infernal Drake on a comp that loves it. Vygar has double Infernal Drake, which is only going to help the scaling eventually. Because all things considered, Wilbrook's still sitting on 385 AP, and that's move speed. Sitting on 252 AP, so not a lot. But if you look at the Syndra, he's sitting on 210. He might be behind. He has more AP, and that's.
I think the Wilbrooks is making the same mistake here that Fiora is going to TP away to save herself. But as I was saying, I think the Wilbrooks is making the same mistake, in my opinion, that I don't even know who I was playing against, but the mid laner I was playing against when I played that Vel'Koz game.
Bukaki Poro.
Oh, Bukaki Poro. He, if you're ahead with Vygar, like if you're ahead in kills, after you get your first item, go immediately for the Rabadon's Death Cap. Because with all the AP you're scaling, it just brings you so much far ahead, so much faster. And now,
go ahead.
It would be so much more beneficial. He's getting his Zonias, but he's only died one time. He doesn't need it. And with the Infernals, it's just going to make him even more disgusting. Ooh, General Dill. Cosmic Radiant cannot save Opie in time, and General Dill is still chasing down Gert.
Syndra's coming
to help him. W scatters the weak. Dazzle. Ooh, but unfortunately they
can't finish it off.
Unleash Power could not finish off General Dill.
It was close.
Cleans up the terror.
It was close, but it wasn't even like that close realistically, because it was still probably 150 the General Dill had. And if we're talking about Vygar builds, there's really two different trains of thought you can go in. And I know different mid laners are going to have different opinions on it either way you look. But there's the, and as I'm saying this, Jingo and Chain managing to split push down a tower, and he's actually going.
Is going to dive onto Opie. Ooh, living artillery, flash away. Bukaki Poro flashes in too, and they're going to get him. But with Gert's help, they will shut down the Bukaki Poro.
Was that a shutdown kill?
Meanwhile, top lane, General Dill dying Jingo and Chain flashes over the, and Jingo and Chain, godlike on Fiora with the
Bork rush
build, the Bork team that
Maybe.
we had so greatly criticized.
Maybe there's something to this Bork rush on Fiora. We are going to see Sayato actually going into. It's only going to make as this game goes on, which is not a bad route to go with it at all, especially into a split pusher with. While the Tiamat is going to help, you still can't clear between his little ghouls and his Maiden in the Mist and all his easier. It's still really tough on Fiora to handle that split push. I almost really want Sayato to just be in a side lane right now.
I think so too. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that Sayato could still take the Fiora. Maybe 7-3 for Fiora.
It'd be tough, especially because Fiora went with that Bork. And I know we were talking it down, but he doesn't really have a lot of armor at this point. He has the armor from Raptor Core. And I'm going to shut up because we got Curtain Call.
Curtain Call. Scout of the Week goes down on the Sayato. Sayato's going to flash away. And Bukaki Poro's just going to start railing. But he's on alone, Curse the Sad Mummy. And they're going to shut down Bukaki Poro.
Will Brooks lived with
Meanwhile,
30 health.
Sayato is chasing down OP, but he's going to decide to back away with
a good pick there. They found a good advantageous fight for him. General Dill and Oscar were bot lane, and they had all 5 members there, so let's get engaged, and they made it happen. And it was.
Do you know what rank Packer Diehard is?
He's bronze 2.
Ult coming down from Braum, double rage cage coming up. They're gonna kill. They're gonna kill Gert before the Cosmic Radiance can come down.
That wasn't even the double rage cage because Will Brooks wasn't there.
No, he's right there.
No, when that fight started, he was at their tier 2 in mid.
Oh, okay.
It was single rage.
I just want to say double rage cage.
I know.
I just wanted to have it. Ooh, calling coming down and get the kill.
So much damage. Isn't Lucian fun to play against as an animal carry?
Yeah, they should kill that ward. Kill that ward. Do it. Come on.
And that's why I'm saying like the Lucian to the Jhin very. It wasn't even actually counterpicked with that because General Dill picked Lucian
Scatter Leak onto General Dill, and he misses the Dark Sphere to finish him off.
General Dill living by the hair on his chinny chin chin, and we're gonna see another Infernal Dragon. Oh my gosh!
Triple Infernal Vigar is the theme apparently. Valiant attempt by Amumu to dive in with advantage shots, but he's gonna die as well to the Vigar.
So we've now had 2 games to split where we've had triple Infernal Dragons on a team. Both times that team has had a Vigar. Both times Bukaki Poro has been on that team. This time he's not the Vigar that's in the game.
So if they lose, if the Silver Torpedoes lose,
it's an omen.
We must blame Bukaki Poro.
Well,
just simply fact.
Ooh. I just think it's a funny correlation. That's how it's happening. But yeah, so Will Brooks will eventually, if this game goes late enough, be the reason why his team wins as long as he hits a skill shot. Huge. Whether he's behind in farm or not, he still is also 5-1-5. God, he's only 800 gold down still. So even the gold lead that was for Packer hasn't even ballooned anymore. While he's up almost flame horizon, Will Brooks is still just as much of a capable team player right now as Packer Diehard is. And it looks like we might see some action going. We got Baron set up happening for Tilted Torpedoes. That triple Infernal Drake could actually, while it's not triple Mountain Drake, it could still actually help them to take a fairly early Baron, especially with Kog'Maw who's gonna shred it, with Vigar who's gonna deal damage to it. Lucian will
Split
shred it.
Fiora is going to get the first bottom turret, as they're going to go 5 mid lane to the torpedoes.
Playing an ARAM, doing the ARAM style. A lot of teams like this.
Actually, General Dill and General Dill is going to go and try and catch that Fiora. Will he get it in time?
No one
he's
does.
going to go for that
Jingo
juicy
does have
wave.
his TP. He'll get away in time. Yeah, I think props to Jingo. It's good macro play, good macro choices to just do a split push. It's very tough for anybody to answer him. Even at this point, it's hard to answer him with that.
Curtain call coming out in the mid lane. They're going to only going to shoot one off though. Packer Diehard missed the scout of the week.
Double rage cage, baby.
General Dill dives in.
Good damage.
Rommel onto Bird.
Onto 2.
But the Cosmic Radiance is not going to get to him in time. Fiora's flashing in. She's going on to...
That was an aggressive flash. Oh my gosh.
Deadly Flush misses. General Dill cleaning up the entire team.
General Dill is untouched.
Power and just going to roll.
That's going to be a clean ace 27 minutes in. Yeah, and Jingo decided to flash over top of the Raptor wall to get into that fight. I don't know if maybe like he missed his cue to get over at first, but that's a wall you can, like, that wall just north of the Raptor bush, or the Raptor camp, is a wall that's very easy to queue over. I don't know if he missed it, but
Now
not having that flash to be able to...
Easily going to get this inhibitor and
Oh yeah.
back off. Are they going to go for Baron, or are they going to play?
They're going to certainly set up for Baron, I would. You still have 3 full health members.
Yeah, the only one that's low is the Braum.
I just feel like if Jingo saves his flash, he's over that wall dead, then he has the flash to be able to get around the baby cage, because it's not too hard for Fiora to get out of the Yorick cage, but it's very tough for her to get out of the Vigar cage, because it's not the easiest thing to parry, or to riposte rather.
Yeah.
And you can't dash through it. The only great way for Fiora to get through that is either, it's one of 2 ways. It's to flash, or it's to do your Q while you have your riposte up, which is feasible. I mean, it's a goofy looking thing, but it works fine, and it could make the play happen. But I saw when the post went down, and it didn't go down in time to be able to do that play. So then Fiora stuck in the Vigar baby cage with no flash, no riposte.
One thing I want to point out from the torpedoes, which they're doing very well, is their vision control. If you look on the map right now, there are 4 control words coming from the torpedoes, as to the 0 coming from the 7 Shades of Greg.
I know that's something.
When you're this behind, you really need better vision.
Oh yeah, and maybe you want to see the mid laner on a blue trinket or something. You see blue trinket, you see Packer still with. You might even want to say to put a blue trinket on that walrus. While you get a little less ward coverage, you have wards that you can actually put down. And while okay, sure, maybe your ward gets taken, you still know where they are then, and you still know what objective they're going for.
Yes, see, I'm going to disagree with you there, just because I've watched plenty of videos on Purixin, and when he talks about like being from behind, he talks about keeping his yellow trinket just so that they can keep vision when it's supposed to getting it tearing down so easily.
I mean,
so
I guess I can see that.
I think
way
the yellow trinket should be staying. I just don't think they're using him. We're gonna have a fight in Jingo Unchained and Sayato is just getting absolutely crushed right now with Fiora. Why? Grand Challenge flash away from Sayato.
I don't know if he lives still though.
I don't think he will, but he's gonna get the Dark Procession to get away. Meanwhile, top lane.
Good placement on that by Sayato.
Skirmish. Ooh. Scout of the Week comes down on a Bukaki Poro, but Packer Diehard's just gonna walk away.
I know you were...
Dark Sphere goes down from Oscar onto Packer Diehard, but he's alone. Nothing's happening there. Meanwhile, Opie curtain call to take down Bukaki Poro.
Oh, I didn't. I guess somebody was it. Bukaki Poro looks like he failed flashed over. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
You were watching the fight mid lane, the epic 1v1 of Braum versus.
Yeah, versus Syndra, wasting
gotta
the
wonder
exhaust.
You gotta wonder what the call is on Oscar to be there. I'm gonna go back a little bit and see what happened, because there's no reason Braum shouldn't have been with his team.
Yeah.
And blocking some
No.
of that damage to the Bukaki live. Oh, I didn't go back far enough. Okay.
Meanwhile, Jingo Unchained is calling for his team to get ready for the dragon. Fiora's clearing. Ooh, General Dill is going to walk in on Jingo Unchained, and ooh, flash over the wall. Jingo Unchained is going to stop the Fiora is going to stop General Dill by flashing over the wall. And looks like that dragon might be a little harder for them to take without General Dill there. Cinder's back.
And by the way, Frank, take all this because I'm in a.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out what's going on. So Bukaki Poro is clearing wards and has started the dragon, but Gert has another ward on it. Rage Cage is going to stun Gert. Curtain Call coming from OP. Still torpedoes are running. Meanwhile, Fiora, Amumu, and Gert are going to secure the dragon. But meanwhile, again, in the base of the Seven Shades of Greg, minions are getting some damage done on the turrets, but it looks like OP, Gert, and Dow Walrus are going to be the answer. And
okay,
inhibs have respawned for that meant inhib is respawned for the Seven Shades of Greg.
So I went back and looked at that play in the mid lane where Bukaki Poro got caught out, which is what inevitably led to a Mountain Dragon pickup, which led to Seven Shades of Greg getting a little bit of control back in. And at the moment where Oscar decided to run down Packer Diehard, the rest of his team was all just around blue buff. To me, like there was no intention on them to be chasing after the Syndra. They were much satisfied with stealing away the blue buff, and then the Braum just kept chasing Packer Diehard on the Syndra, and left the rest of his team without a tank.
Yeah.
It was certainly a little bit questionable. So Baron's going to be the next big play. I'd say both teams have about an equal pull on it. I know everybody talks about Mountain Drake's Baron, and they're very nice. But if you have a Mountain Drake and they have Triple Infernal helps about the same as one Mountain Drake does taking Baron. It's not 100% equal.
Yeah, I'd actually think that on the side of Infernal Drake is probably doing a little more work.
Exactly. It might even be doing more work than 3 Infernal Drake. And you have to look at the champions you have. If you look at just the jungle and AD carry champions alone for both teams, Cogmaw and Lucian is going to take Baron so much faster than a move.
Thank you, Jingo Unchained, for seeing that ward that I wanted to be taken down so long ago.
He's gonna take a little bit of damage, but he has like.
That Walrus gets bandaged onto the Will Brooks, gets Curse the Sad Mummy off. Meanwhile, the Cosmic Radiance protects Seven Shades of Greg. Scout of the Week comes down onto the Braum. Braum goes down. Dazzle misses, but they're going to get Saito anyway. General Dill's going to back off, and I'm assuming that this team, Seven Shades of Greg, is going to go for the Baron.
Huge pickup by Datwars there. MVP of that fight, 100%. Landing the Bandage Sauce onto a priority target.
Cost to CC down
exactly
3 of them. Meanwhile, Scout of the Week then comes to double CC over them. This Baron's going to be easy. General Dill is going to farm his mid lane.
Well, and Gert plays this Taric in a way that I think more people need to play Taric. And that's that he doesn't wait for somebody to like be in trouble to use his ulti. He just uses it so that nobody ever gets in trouble. And it's the same thing with like when people talk about like the Kale, I believe it's called Redemption, and how to use that. And you know, use it when you're low health. And sometimes as Kale, it's just better to just that's right. It's Intervention. Redemption is the item that supports all. My bad. It's the same kind of idea where sometimes you just put it on your AD carry at the start of a fight and let them go Rambo and just make it so that nothing can happen to them, so they have that safety. And I love the way that Gert does that with Cosmic Radiance on Taric.
See, I think that, in my opinion, you know, I think that the Tilted Torpedoes should be ahead in this game right now. But what's really hurting them is the fact, despite the curtain call coming down onto the Will Brooks.
He's gonna have to
and
zone
he's
you
gonna
here.
get 4 shots, but
Not gonna have to zone you.
but he is chunked down really low. They might get this mid turret. But as I was saying, I think the Kog'Maw jungle should have so much better farm than the Amumu, and they're only 7 apart. The mid lane, bandage toss, Curse of the Sad
Good
Mummy
flash.
used, but a good flash there.
Redemption
by
used-
Kakiporo.
Redemption used aggressively there by Gert to get extra damage down. A nice difference in the way to use that ability. I like it. Right now, Tilted Torpedoes really just have to be on damage control. You have wave clear. You got Lucian Vigard, decent wave clear. You got Kog'Maw's decent wave clear.
These farm differences are have kept Tilted Torpedoes in this game, not including that which is making the fight so close. And General Dill is going to dive in, scatter the weak, and Dazzle
Two
misses.
auto attacks took Cracker down to half health.
Yeah, General Dill is still incredibly strong, but I think that with the farm differences, it's kept them in these fights, and Seven Shades Gregor just outplaying.
Oh yeah, that Walrus is putting in a lot of work this game, getting
Absolutely.
good picks. Because right now, Bukaki Boro's flash is still down for about another 3-4 minutes. Which on a champion like Kog'Maw, you really don't want to be fighting too much when you don't have your flash, because it's just so dangerous. Especially into Syndra, Amumu, Fiora, Taric. There's so many things that Kog'Maw does not want to be next to for him to be fighting a fight without a flash.
I'm not really agreeing with General Dill being in the lane right now. I think they should send someone else to stop the Fiora split push. But
it's probably from the aspect. I can probably guess why that's the call. General Dill being the diamond on the team is going to be fairly capable of outplaying that Fiora at that point. Just from a stance of he's really good at this. Whereas Sayato, Silver 2, not saying that like there's anything wrong with Silver 2 players. I'm practically a Silver 2 player.
I see exactly what you mean right now. As General
There you
flashes in and kills Jingo Unchained. Normally in that matchup, I think curtain call coming down in the mid lane.
Normally in that matchup,
But Unbreakable is going to stop it. Sayato is going to go down. Rommel hits 4. Curse of the Sad Mummy.
double
and,
rage cage engaged.
But the ult, the Cosmic Radiance, protects the team. Kog'Maw is going to start popping off.
Bukaki Boro's
They're
here.
just going to back out. Deadly Flourish stops Bukaki Boro in his tracks.
Good disengage on the whole by that squad. And Sayato was tunneling a little bit onto Packer, but I think if the Cosmic Radiance is enough, Sayato picks up that kill.
Yeah, Packer Diehard getting a ward on the dragon, but if I were the enemy team, I would not have backed, and I would have tried to push the objective. Without Jingo Unchained, it would have been 4-on-1 on that Infernal Dragon, on that Elder Dragon. Sorry about that, which would have given them 6. Basically 6 dragons. But now they're going for it. And they're going to be up before the enemy team
even gets a chance to reset. So, before the Infernal Drake, I want to see what this Vigar AP does. So Vigar's sitting on 886 AP.
That's very bad.
I know, but it's still a lot of AP. And if he can get a little bit of peel, he could still one-shot Jhin if given the chance, because Jhin has no magic resist build.
Yeah, but you see
he
that
does have the GA
Jhin,
though, which does make that tough. So I did realize that as I said that. Oh, there's still GA. Either way, he could pop the GA, or someone else could pop the GA, and then Will Brooks can make it happen. I just think there's still a decent amount of power in this Vigar pick. It's still scaling till infinity. So
yeah, for sure. It's just I agree with you. But with how scary the other team is, I just don't think that it's going to be enough. I don't. Hopefully this, and if
Jingo might face check a 4-man front. He's gonna realize it and back off quick enough to not get caught out. Baron coming up in a minute, and right now Tilted Torpedoes have effectively given up control of the Baron pit as they have all of the members on the bot side of the map trying to answer the Fiora split push. It gives that also a chance to get into the Baron pit and secure a little bit of vision before Tilted Torpedoes can even think about entering that area.
So one thing I want to check right now as I'm looking. Oh, it's not gonna let me see. Wait.
Oh. Interesting.
So
interesting side note, but I'll let you get to your point and then I'll say mine.
oh, calling coming down.
They're gonna just try and siege off this inhibitor.
Tilted Torpedo is making the smart call as to sieging.
Yeah, they have
with
Elder with Triple Infernal.
With the Elder up.
Seven Shades of Grey does not want to fight that right now. So take the inhib, maybe.
Yeah, but the Elder's gonna wear off real soon. Like,
but with the inhib down, they have priority on
seconds.
And while it's not the bot lane inhib, which is leading down the pressure Baron, they have the mid lane inhib, which still gives them the priority that they need. It's just a question of is
but the minions haven't gotten there yet. I think they're going to start the Baron, and I still think that Seven Shades of Greg will win this fight.
And see, Oscar needs to be just in front of his team right now.
Coming in on the Will Brooks.
Eating all this damage.
Unbreakable's going to block one of the shots. Flash out of one of the... but Deli Flourish hits Greg. And that Walrus is going to ult to stop Dylan.
Oh my gosh, and it's going to be a one team fight. That's the two biggest damage sources, big consistent damage sources in general. Dylan Bukaki Poro down. This is going to be potentially a free Baron. Yes, you did.
I'm sorry. It's just, why do they got to have Greg in their name? It's so unfortunate.
Well, they don't have Greg in their name. Not the team that Dylan's on. No,
the
but
other team does. But why did we?
I know. Greg Earl Dill. That was a really nice.
Oh wow, that was, I've never seen that before, and that was really, really cool. If you just missed a little tip right there, Packer Diehard used the exploding plant to knock
Sayado.
Yeah, Sayado over the wall. Sorry, getting a little distracted by Oscar getting half helped by the Jingo Unchained in the top lane.
This might be game now. Like, they have the tools to keep Fiora off of this inhib.
So, as I wanted to say a lot earlier, being a strong, I wouldn't say strong, being a Vygar player, seeing that the Will Brooks has 147 AP from his passive, he should be having about 100 AP at and that's not very good by 20 minutes from his auto attacking or from his Qs, Baleful Strike.
Right.
And so he's that 147 is mainly from his getting kills and assists. So it's just that he's clearly just one, we see that he's not farming well, but two, that means he must be not be farming well with his Q either.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. One of the things about I know Will Brooks has been picking up a lot of newer champions because he can't just play Malzahar all the time in a league like this when it's going to get banned. Wow. And so I know he's been working on a lot of champs.
Onto the Gurg, and with one auto attack from Bukaki for
my god, that was a lot of damage for one auto attack.
Well, it was mixed with the dark matter and the Event Horizon.
I got you.
Yeah, so it was a little bit more than that, but not much.
Doing the same strategy they did before last time. Seven Shades of Grey had Baron, and they're sending General Dill to be the
double rage cage. It's no one. They are using it to clear waves.
I love that. I love that combo still. That's actually like a really awesome synergy between the two champions that I had never thought of.
Yeah, I think one of the hard things here is that, in my opinion, the pocket picks, just the Tilted Torpedoes in general, to me, seem like they are a team that picks very cheesy, snowbally things. But in a league like this, where you have other players that can keep up with stuff like that, you either got to win the game quick, or as of now, Yorick, though he'll be doing some damage, is not nearly as useful as if they had a tank to be protecting the Vygar, protecting the Lucian, protecting the Kog'Maw, which is kind of essential to their carries doing the damage they need to be. Because right now Syndra, Jin, Fiora are just blowing up the other team, and Saito can't do anything about it and can't do enough damage to continue killing them. It looks like Lucian's gonna flash to get Fiora GA,
but he's still whole health. He can keep taking this fight.
Yeah, but on Jingo and Chain should back off. Oh, and he will now.
Still worth, I think. General Dill is Lucian, and he's late game Lucian. Flash is not as important of a summoner to have on him with his Reckless Pursuit. If he were a mobile AD carry, I would definitely say, but he's not. He's Lucian, so he should be able to be okay in the next team fight as long as he can use his E effectively the way that it's designed.
Yeah, I think that one of the big problems right now for Seven Shades Greg is know what to do, and I don't even perfectly know what to do, but I think if it were me with this Baron buff, instead of trying to 4-1, I'd go 1-3-1, split up.
But who do you put in the other one? If you put Jin or Syndra in the other one, they can get jumped on very easily because. And if you put that Walrus in the other one, you don't have your engage with the team.
I'd put Packer Diehard. Packer Diehard has his flash up, has Ghost, and can scatter the weak. So I don't think that any of them have the ability to jump on him that fast. Because Saito can't burst down Packer Diehard that fast, and the other ones are long range carries, which could also, if Packer Diehard plays it right, could blow up General Dill or Bukaki Boro if trying to defend against him.
And that's not an awful idea. I could see that working out. It's a tough call to make in game. These type of macro plays are things that take practice as a team. And this is kind of this is going to be kind of my PSA to all the teams in the split. All the teams in the league this split is to know that no matter how many games you play, you're never going to know what macro plays need until you get there. And so try to practice as many of them as you can. Try to practice the 1-3-1. Try to practice the 1-4. Try to practice a full-on 5-man. Like, try to practice as many different types of comps as you can, so that if you get into a game like this, and even though this comp is generally designed to be a 1, maybe you can then say, okay, we need to call an audible. Let's do a 1-3-1, and then you can know whoever would be the other one. And your 1-3-1 normally would know what they need to do, would know how to play it, and would be able to make it happen, even if they're not champions.
Yeah, and it's just knowing your comps too, knowing what they're good at.
We see a Thornmill coming out from Jingo Unchained. I'm a little intrigued at that. I don't necessarily disagree with it, because the bulk of the damage that Fiora has to worry about is Kog'Maw and Lucian, because he's got the Death Dance, which will allow him to survive pretty much the general bulk of the Bull versus damage.
The general bulk of General Dill.
Well, except I wasn't talking about General Dill.
I know, but the Thornmail does the same thing for both. I just thought, you just said, play on words, man. Just let me have it.
It was my plan. Whatever. This cast is getting 50 minutes. This might be the longest game of the split now. I don't know. Have we had any games longer?
And
I know people played a
Scout of the
long.
Week's gonna get 3. Calling's gonna come down. Baby Cage is gonna flash. Yeah, Walrus is alone. But he's
a moo-moo.
Yeah.
Curtain call.
Yeah, curtain call coming down. Sato backing away, and it looks like Split Fist Fiora is going to try and get this turret.
As he should. Jingo going back to it.
I think the wrong call. I think that Silver Torpedoes should really get off of this dragon.
See, Sayato can't win this, though. Sayato can't stop her. It's late game Fiora.
Can't stop the late game Fiora. Meanwhile, Seven Shades of Greg are easily going to get that dragon. It's not going to do much for them besides the damage. Flash away from Jingo Unchained. Sayato's going to try and chase him down, but he's going to get away. They should probably head straight towards that Baron. They could burn it easy.
Incredibly well executed backer
fight, though. Yeah,
Seven Shades of Greg played that perfect. They disengaged in the 4. They managed to stall enough time so that Jingo Unchained could do what he needed to do.
Flash away from Bukaki Boro. three-man
slash.
Three-man ult. Jingo and Chain coming from behind, though, destroying Will Brooks.
Culling just not in range.
Culling's going to hit General Dill. The Culling is going to take down... and forgot about the GA. Deadly Flourish is going to nail Bukaki Poro for Gert to finish it off. Ooh, General Dill's GA was just popped. Opie's
what a
after
deadly
him.
flourish. What a shot.
And it's hard for them to win that. It's hard for the the Tilted Torpedoes to win that fight with the damage from the damage from the triple, or not, they don't have triple anything, but from the Infernal Drake.
They do have
not
one
the
thing
Infernal
interesting
Drake.
to note. They do have two people on their team have...
General Dill's gonna...
that damage.
Packer Diehard. Disrespect.
Packer Diehard, disrespecting.
I can just see General Dill be like, don't disrespect me, even though he's still losing the game right now.
He's not even on Singed.
Yeah.
The memes continue, boys.
Yeah. If only you viewers knew our inside jokes as well as we do. Aww.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. A heavy majority of our viewers.
General Dill's gonna flash down onto the
bandage.
Yeah, the
He's
bandage
down.
and the Curse of the Set Mummy. They're gonna pop the GA of the Jin, and their team's just gonna.
But this game's still not over.
It's still not over.
Reset for Baron Bob.
Yeah, I would rush towards Baron with 2 inhibs down.
The biggest thing that came from that whole sequence of events was that Seven Shades of Greg were finally able to break the base. Because...
Yeah, Jingo and Chain currently soloing Baron, and
winning so far, but
yeah.
I think it's hard to solo Baron as it goes on, because the debuffs that Baron add make it so that you lifesteal less.
Okay, the enemy team is there.
This could be bad for Seven Shades of Grey.
Yeah, Dow Walrus has got to get to that Baron, so Bukaki Poro doesn't flash or plant into... Looks like they're going to back off the Baron. If I were... obviously, again, really hard to say from here.
I think
Torpedoes backing for their minions.
I was going to say, backing up and stalling is right.
Oh, I agree with it being the right call, but I'd be having Jingo split push because he's got TP to come to the Baron. Focusing on that only chart that they have to give the team the free Baron, but those minions, they weren't taking care of them well enough, and it's going to give the Seven Shades of Greg the Baron anyway.
We're seeing some really good macro play here. Seven Shades of Greg. I'm not sure. I played with them. I don't even remember who their shot caller is.
That's what I was just wondering.
I don't remember if it's OP or Gert. I know it's... The primary voice is one of those two. I just don't remember. But I know they like to do it as a team. And doing it as a unit, as a full 5, is actually really tough to coordinate with shot calling.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're doing it phenomenally well. These last 2 minutes.
Spanish toss comes down. Gert ults, protect his team.
It's only going to be on 3 members of Cosmic Radiance.
Another
one.
Only goes down to 1. Ooh, Packer Diehard trying to kill Poro. Zonia's flashes away.
All the while, though, Jin and Fiora are killing the base.
By Fiora.
And that's going to be GG. 54 minutes, 50-some seconds.
How many times can a Vygar have 3 Infernal Drakes
and
post 40 minutes and lose the game?
Well, the answer to that question is twice, apparently. So, there you have it. It's going to be a nice, I'm not going to say clean 2-0. The first game was fairly clean. Second game, anything but it's going to be a 2-0 for Seven Shades of Greg. I couldn't even remember their team name.
Yeah, I think that before we start talking about the teams and the future of both of them, I think we should take a look in at these damage charts before we start talking about coming in. It looked Vygar, the Will Brooks 11,685 damage. 4 minutes into the game.
I think that just comes down to he wasn't able to be, whether it's his positioning or whether it's the team that they pulled around it, he wasn't able to be kept safe. Because he kept getting picked off early in team. And it was a good bandage tosses, good scout of the weeks, good using their pick tools to their potential. And a lot of the times they were able to find jokes and make it really tough on him to dish out his damage in team fights.
Yeah. General Dill, 47,000 damage. 10,000 more than the closest person, which was OP on the Jin. Overall damage charts. Actually, are they? They're pretty close. Pretty close. I was wanting to see if they were swinging one way over the other. Wards. Yeah, guys, MVP poll is up on the Twitch. Please vote.
Which brings up a good question.
Uh,
Yeah, OP got the MVP for first game, by the way, on his Lucian performance.
Great stuff. Who do you think who are you feeling on the MVP for this game, Eric? Because I know I have my choice, but I want to hear from you first.
Well, I have a feeling I know what your choice is, and I think I'm going to agree with you. And I think it's that Walrus because he was the catalyst in the second half of that game. He was the catalyst in getting the picks that mattered. There was no reason why, in a lot of those times, that Tilted Torpedo should have lost a team fight, but because that Walrus was able to find a priority target to hit his banish toss on and hit it, because it's not always the easiest skill shot to hit. Sometimes you like almost bend it around and like use some spaghetti code to get it to hit where you want it. And he did very well with it. And I thought him as a frontliner and him on the Sunumu was actually very strong.
Yeah, no, his engages were absolutely incredible. Using Curse of the Sad Mummy to hit multiple targets each time, just great work.
And I don't want to take anything away from the rest of the team. Jingo and Shane played that game very well too. Not necessarily the early game. The lane phase kind of sucked, and he'll own that. But he turned it around very well, and he knew what his champ was designed. His champ is designed to scale and be a split pushing menace, and he did that so well every time. Even in the first game, something be going on, and Fiora took another tower. And like, props to him for knowing what his champion is designed to do, doing it well.
Let's not forget that his curtain calls helped initiate a lot of fights.
Well, I was talking about Jingo, not OP.
Oh, you're right.
There is some confusion because his name is Jingo and it's Jin in the game.
Yes.
I was talking about Jingo and Shane on the Fiora.
Yep. Well, I'm sure you already said this then, but one of those big fights at the end of the game near Baron, he came in a flank on the left, blew up the Vigar, and then immediately popped Bukaki Poro's GA, which, as we had said, their team just really doesn't have a lot of defense for that. Wow. So as I am getting word, Jingo Unchained won that MVP by far. Sorry, Walrus. I was pulling for you, but great job all around from these teams. Tell me, Eric, before we pull these guys into the channel, which I hope they are in.
We're gonna have to just move to a different channel because they're not gonna.
Gotcha.
But we're gonna so
yeah. So we will head there.
You guys head there. I will pull them. Actually, there's a channel where they give interviews. So go to.
Hold up.
Pull them.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Never mind.
Yeah,
OP's already in miscellaneous.
So. Yeah, he's already in the channel we need to be. But my question is that do we want to talk about like the teams? What do we think they need to do for the future, or do you want to do that after this interview?
Let's leave that one. Let's do the interview and then we'll give the schedule of what's coming up tomorrow and then we'll cut. Okay?
Sounds great.
I'll go get. Nope, looks like no one already came. Perfect. To the miscellaneous channel. Hello.
Hey guys.
I'm gonna start off by saying congrats on the 2-0. Turn it around. Or no, you guys. No, that was you guys got 0-2 last week. And I know, Nolan, you weren't on the team last week. I'm going to address the first question towards you because I know you're a pickup for this team. You're kind of filling in the place of Jingle. Your names are too close, by the way. Also, it is so confusing having Jingo Unchained and Jin in the same game and not be the same person, for what it's worth.
And the 7 deadly sins and the 7 shades of Greg were messing me up the entire time. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it a lot.
Shout out to Jingo.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, what I want to say, how was it coming into a new team environment and like, they've already played matches, they've already had some strats put together. How was it kind of meshing into that and becoming a part of that entity?
I was a little nervous at first because I know that I have a very limited schedule to which we can play, but it seems like everybody is working with the same schedule, so we pretty much had the same days. But it was everybody's welcoming. We were just talking, throwing ideas back and forth as comps. Everybody's hearing each other, being very gracious. So it was
Nice.
Awesome to
it was
hear.
a smooth transition.
That's good. That's good.
Question along with team strats and whatnot happening there. Who is shot calling for your team? Who are there? A couple main guys who are talking mostly? Are you all contributing to that shot calling? What's happening there?
It's mostly everybody was pretty much contributing. My focus this game was to split push and draw, put pressure on the lanes, draw people there. So if I'm telling them that, hey, I'm pushing, then once I reach a certain point, I'm telling them, okay, hey guys, start pulling back because we don't want to be overextended. So I push up, somebody pulls, they pull back, and then we flip that.
I dig it. Opie, I had a question for you, and this is going to be weird because you were MVP first game, but my question is second game. So
Sounds good.
But you got the Lucian Braum lane taken away from you guys that you guys had stomped with in the and then picked Jin into it, which there's nothing wrong with Jin as a champion right now. Pretty good place. But Jin into Lucian is not necessarily the most favorable lane because Lucian can pretty much trade whatever he wants. And there's not much Jin can do about it to say trading right now. So what made you pick that Jin into the Lucian?
I mean,
A little bit countered just by picking after him still.
it kind of came down to, I don't want to say champ pool, but what was going to work best, like, as the team, with the team overall, because, like, they're all going to be diving and whatnot, and, like, we have a Tarek who's going to be trying to, like, backline for me. So that was kind of a thing, and it's, it's a strong champion for me. So it's like, okay, I know I can do a lot of damage, and what was nice was just we could do like pop the Jindal to like land a slow on somebody or initiate the fight. You got the Mumu and the Fiora dive, and so then I can just sit back, basically out of range of anybody, and then kind of go to town. So like we just kind of sacrificed the early game for the hopeful mid to late game fights.
Got you. And there's plenty of times I know how that goes to pick a champ not for your lane, and it can be really unfortunate to them. Okay, this champion's for the late game. It'll be okay. Like I feel you on that. Frank, what you got next?
I don't. Well, I'll just ask it and then maybe get yelled at by someone later. My question is, I know, great way to start. My question is for you guys is that like looking at your teams, it seems that like do you guys ever get like really nervous about like playing against like teams that have like they've got this diamond player and whatnot, because it looks like your highest player is gold, but in game you guys looked unshaken completely. So do you guys ever like worry about that? Or
I think our biggest focus is like because I mean, to an extent, you're not going to ban out anybody like completely. Like they tried to ban out Gert, and obviously the first game that didn't work out too well. But I mean, like if you look, you got General Dill who's Diamond, and it's like, okay, well, you're not going to be able to ban out everybody because if then you're also like in the AD carry role, you're also banning out everybody for me as well. So it's kind of like just focus around who on their team has like it all comes down to banning phase, I think. So like if someone plays a ton of this, ban that rather than trying to ban out the diamond player.
Oh yeah.
So if you take away like their number one role, somebody's number one role, that's all they do, then I think that's better than trying to ban out a diamond player who may be more easily adaptable. And so you just kind of got to go in knowing that, I mean, you may technically be lower ranked, but stuff happens in the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. And one thing that I think is so fortunate for your team, and it was working with really well for you guys right now, is so early in the split. It looks like you guys are just so cohesive in the plays that you're making. The macro play is looking incredible. The teamwork is looking incredible. And so I just think you guys are doing really, really, really good things. Despite that difference, I think you guys got a lot going for you.
Well, thank you.
I got a question. So there's this meme competition that's been by a certain Gergopotamus that Shavia named. I want you guys to both hit me with your spiciest meme.
I want you both to hit me, but the spiciest meme.
Was that it?
That's all I can think of. Not gonna lie.
All right, I like it. I like it.
Will the torpedo, more like will the torpedo don't.
Ooh. Throwing.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
The shade just coming. Wow.
So Opie wins that one.
So they not very gracious after the first win, but always keeping things exciting here in the PMA LCS.
Hey, I mean, you asked for it, so
I did.
I got to deliver.
Well, thank you guys. Congrats on your 2-0 again. Unless Frank has any other questions, I think about it.
No, I'm good. Thank you guys. Great job. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is it for tonight's stream. Thank you to Rich, Jirachi. I also don't know your last name.
Hi.
For
just
streaming tonight.
I'm just gonna unmute my mic to stream now. Hi guys.
Yep, he streamed for us, which was awesome. Just to give you a heads up, I believe that Greg Adler has posted to donate. In case anybody isn't aware, donations this split. 70% of our donations will be going towards our prize. 30% will be going towards the Symphonia Educational Foundation. If anybody in here is not a Symphonian, is not what that is. It's the philanthropic endeavor that Find Me Off at Symphonia on a national level uses to help raise money towards advancing music in America, whether it be for giving out scholarships to college students or to high school students going into college, or to helping advance music programs in high schools across the country. It's all the betterment of music in America as an art, as a means of life. So that's exciting news. There is also the news, if you haven't heard, that our Twitch channel is now, what was the term for it? Affiliates? Yeah, so there will also be the ability to raise some money to the Twitch channel, which will also go into, I don't know if all that money is going into the SEF or that's going to be the same split, but it's money raised for our cause.
I think from the Twitch channel it's going to SEF, but don't quote me on that.
I think so too, but I wasn't 100% certain on that. And before we leave, I want to hit you with the schedule for tomorrow because there is a match tomorrow. Unfortunately, don't remember who's playing or what time.
Shoe Shop and Team Foreskin are going to be playing at 7 p.m. EST.
I suppose I could have asked Frank because he's in that match.
I am in that. Come check me in the mid lane.
feeding his butt off, trying to invade blue buff with nobody around when there's a cannon in the
Absolutely.
game. But anyway, catch us tomorrow. For now, this is it. It's been Guy Fieri with the Frank Mad Hatter. Still don't remember your last name, but that's okay. We'll work.
Caputo, even I remember it.
And it's
And we
DG Mad Hatter. Don't forget my DG.
No, I will forget the DG. I will do whatever I want. And
Wow.
Rich has been here the whole time,
Hello.
shouting in our ears. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good night, everyone.
Night.